So welcome to this special video podcast in association with the British Columbia Building Suppliers Industry Association, affectionately known as BCBSIA, with their executive director, Mr. Foreman, Thomas Foreman, who is well known in the industry, not only just well known, but it's been his drive and he's highly respected. So we'll hear words of wisdom from him. We also have hard lines, and we have the Expedia cruise ship supplier who comes in the form of highly experienced Dean McIntosh. Hello, Dean. And of course, the Asia Pacific Wine and Spirit Institute, which hosts the show through the Apwazi Wine Buzz. Today, we'll be sharing information about the world's largest hardware fair in the world in Cologne, Germany, and set for 2024. So welcome, gentlemen, and let me begin by asking you to just introduce yourself very briefly, what it is you do at the at your specific institution. Thomas, would you mind?
Sure. It's again, Thomas Foreman. Good afternoon, good morning to anybody that's watching this. I'm the president of the Building Supply Industry Association and excited to be able to share some information and insight into this trip that we're planning for next year. It's always been a passion of mine to get out and live outside the circle, and this is definitely an opportunity for us to do this and get to see the largest hardware show, as Clinton said, in the world.
So it's we're putting balance of work and life together. So you're not just talking the talk, you're going to walk the talk as well. Well done, Thomas.
For sure.
Dean.
Hello, yes, my name's Dean McIntosh. I am the owner of Expedia Cruises in Surrey, and so by all means, we've put together this cruise for you guys. So we're really excited to be able to host this with you and to show you a little bit about it. I'm a Red Seal chef as well. That was my former career, and so I'm looking forward to coming on the ship and being able to enjoy dinners and times with you guys.
So we're going to see some of your culinary skills and knife skills at their best.
Most definitely, yes.
Looking forward to that. So let's get cracking, gentlemen. So if I may ask you, Thomas, what's so special about this fair?
Well, as you said earlier, it is the largest, reputed to be the largest fair hardware show in the world. I've had the opportunity to go to the fair in Canton hardware show and absolutely blown away by the size of it. As this opportunity came forward, we just thought, here's the largest hardware show. We're in the hardware business. We've pulled together some great partners and that know a lot about Cologne and are going to allow us to explore the city and the town and the area around it. So it's a combination of getting to the hardware show and then also enjoying all the good things about Cologne.
Yes, and it's a magnificent city. The cathedral there is well renowned. I've had the opportunity to go there myself, Thomas. Now, who actually goes to this fair?
Well, the numbers are staggering. I mean, there's thousands of vendors and manufacturers that will be attending, and the numbers of people, is out of our mind. There's so many people that attend the show from all over the world, and that's the best part of this opportunity, is that we're going to see people, manufacturers, suppliers that come from all over the world, that will give us an opportunity to see things we wouldn't otherwise see in a typical trade show.
Yeah, so we're going to get not only the normal fare, using culinary terms, because I know Dean likes to know a little bit more in terms of the descriptors, but there really is going to be the sort of pièce de résistance of all the suppliers there, because it's well known, and this is the first time they're coming together after the pandemic. Is that right, Thomas?
That's correct.
So there's old friends, new friends coming together, and so it's not just visiting the venue itself, but there's also the opportunity of networking, renewing, rekindling the sort of glowing embers of friendship, but starting new friends, would you say, Thomas?
Oh yes, absolutely. It will just expand everybody's horizon by being on this trip. You'll meet new people. You'll see new things, new products, new connections that you just wouldn't make otherwise.
Yeah, so I think if they want to know more, certainly the viewers they can connect onto the link, and we also have our other partners who unfortunately not able to make today, but Hardlines will be able to give more in-depth information because they are very, very closely associated.
Sure.
Now,
and that's a good point. And you know, just the question you asked a little while in the first round of questions, there's 14,000 exhibitors. It's a 114,000 square foot facility, and there'll be over 25,000 people attending over the course of the 2 days. And then on top of that, it's represented, as we talked about, it's a world exposition by over 125 countries.
so those are staggering numbers, and
Yes.
I think you'd be hard pressed not to make a connection. So, how did this idea of having this riverboat cruise, is this a one-off that you're thinking, Thomas, or are you expecting this to be an annual event?
We would really like to do this annually, and with the partners that we have here today and Hardlines as well, the organizations that back this trip up are really looking forward to be able to replicate it annually because of the benefit we all know of getting out and seeing and visiting these types of exhibitions. Come back to us just in a magnitude of ways.
I mean, the captains of industry and the titans, anyone in terms of being a veteran of business will know that, yes, you can meet and go through the numbers and the quotas at the show, but it truly, and it really is afterwards, when the lights are down and you're in that sort of mode, and that's when the friendships and that's when the real business is done. So I think it's a great idea to have put this together. Now, talking about the cruise itself, just before I let you go on this particular section here, Thomas, when are the dates of this of the actual Cologne hardware fair?
Okay,
It's in
good
March,
question.
right?
So it is in March in 2024, and
Right.
it actually opens to vendors on the 3rd of March. So it's going to take them a couple days to get all their products and showcases up and ready, and then it opens to the public on the 5th and the 6th of March.
Okay.
And it's open all day from 9 to 6 on Saturday on the which is the 6th or the 5th, pardon me, and then from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the Sunday.
Okay, so more than ample time. Now, after all the hustle, bustle, the pushing and carrying those pamphlets and endless discussions, it's now downtime, and this is what we're looking for. Now, tell us, what about the dates of the beginning of the riverboat cruise and the end, Dean?
Yes, I mean, we definitely have tried to tie this into the end of the fair for you guys so that you can actually just literally finish up at the fair and then just make your way down to the ship. So we'll be able to have different abilities to get you down to the ship. We'll be waiting there for you to greet you with a drink and welcome you, and then you can actually start to relax and enjoy yourself after your fair, and then you'll be able to actually mingle and meet all these other individuals that have joined us up on the ship.
Well, that sounds, but I've got to tell you, Dean, I hate having to, it's the day, it's the final day of the fair, or it's the next morning, there's always at the end, there's the meetings and there's the after parties. And then I have to think, next morning, I have to find a taxi that's going to take all my bags from the hotel. It's a burden. It's a cruise affair. Can you help?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, that's the whole idea of this. We put it together We have basically a team ready to support you and get whatever you guys need from a point of view from the fair to the fair, from the fair to the ship, and then of course home again. So we can actually fly you there. We can get you set up with VIP passes. We'll get you into the fair, and then we'll actually get you to the ship, and then we're going to actually be able to get you all the way to Amsterdam, and then you'll have some time in Amsterdam, and we'll get you to the airport, so you'll be able to fly home.
So I've got your word on that. You'll take care of
Yes, sir.
everything.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, you mentioned VIP, but I was hearing, it sounds to me more like VVIP type of service that you're offering, because the type of individual that's going to go on these cruises and these fairs are people of discerning taste. Now, Thomas, there's obviously a cost to go into the fair, but I believe that if individuals go on this cruise, they get a VVIP pass. Is that correct? Perhaps you can elaborate.
Correct. That's correct, Clinton. And the hosts of the fair are opening their doors to our delegation that will be arriving there and giving us extra time before the show opens, and during the show we'll have special lounges, access through, as you say, VVIP passes, and private tours, whatever our folks need that are going to join us. All those things will be set up prior to getting in Cologne, so that all the meetings and opportunities to maximize the benefit of the time will be set up with all the people and the associates we've gathered.
Yeah, I think many people who go to trade shows, the maximum currency, which is time, if that is used to the optimum, is enormously valuable. So by being on this VVIP tickets, they have this sort of open sesame, Aladdin, open that cave, and it all happens. It all happens. Now moving back to you, Dean, you mentioned something about offering that VVIP, getting the bags onto the riverboat cruise. But when does the cruise actually begin, and where does it end? So where do they embark, and where do they disembark?
Well, with this opportunity, what we've been able to do is actually route the ship exactly what we want it to do. So we've built a specific itinerary for you that literally takes you from the shores of the Cologne Fair. So we'll be right there, parked basically in the river there, where we will get you to the ship. And then we're going to actually go upriver. We're going to go upriver into Germany and enjoy Germany for a bit. And then we're going to come all the way back down again. And we're actually going to go along and visit many different cities along the way. We have the 7 cities that we're going to actually visit and be able to get you back to Amsterdam, where we'll have some time in Amsterdam. And then, of course, we'll be able to get you home.
Well, that sounds quite luxurious. It's not just 5 or 4 or maybe 6, but this sounds, you said 7 different destinations. Now, I know, having been on a riverboat cruise myself, you only go in one direction. This one is rather unique because it's been customized. And I know that you and Thomas went through a series of planning with Hardlines, and everybody put it together. Perhaps you can just share what is so different about this cruise as opposed to one that they might just buy off the catalog.
For sure. I mean, yeah, we put this one together basically so we can pick you up from Cologne. So normally it would actually start in Amsterdam and or in Basel, Switzerland. And this time we decided that it's better that we actually pick you up right there in Cologne, so you don't have any transportation issues or anything like that. And as I said, then we're going to go up the river and visit some spaces, and we're going to go down a few different tributaries of the different rivers and see some different cities that you would not normally see on a regular trip. And the reason we're doing that is because we know that we want to get as much exposure as we can to this beautiful river and be able to take you down this river and find this specific spot and get you back out of there as well.
Well, this sounds very enticing. I know Thomas, he's just a bundle of energy, and he's sort of that energizer bunny. And I know at the end of the day, most people want to really put their feet up and just have a quiet drink with some friends after supper, which is perfectly fine. But then there are those that, they say, now is the time to really let my hair down. What sort of entertainment do you normally have? Because, when I was there, you might have a little band going, and I know that I will be giving some presentations, but
For
maybe
sure.
you want to share on that, Dean, and what you're
Yeah, I mean, by all means, the different things on a ship. This is a river ship, so it's a long ship. It's not a big ocean going ship. And so what we are is we're right in the heart of the city. So wherever we stop, we're literally right downtown, sometimes right in front of the Parliament buildings or the mayor, right in front of the city hall. And you can literally get off. You just walk off the ship. There's no shuttling and having to take numbers or a hard time to get off the ship. You just literally, if you want to get off, you get off. You'll definitely know when the ship is going to be leaving that evening, and usually the ship leaves well into the evening, so 2 o'clock in the morning. So you'll be able to go out and spend time. You'll be able to come back from your excursions from the daytime. You'll be able to have a great dinner on board, and at that time you can actually go to bed if you're tired, or you can actually get out and go back out into the city, wander around. One of my favorite things to do is find a nice little pub or a coffee shop to be able to sit down and try some local fairs, try to speak the language and learn a little bit of culture. But yeah, that's the whole idea of a river ship. Is it is about culture, and it's about being exposed literally to the environment we're in. Whereas the big ocean ships, they tend to just kind of sail past all these little places that
Yeah, I mean,
have
I
so much
think the big
culture
ocean cruises are somewhat different. But
most definitely.
for every night, I believe they're going to see you in action for those guests that would like it. So pretty much, out of the four of the six nights or 5 of the 6 nights, you will be taking participants, and you're going to be showing them your skills, and they will walk away with some new knowledge. Is that correct?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I love to cook, and I love to be able to show what I've learned. And as I said, I've done extensive traveling in Europe, so I have a bunch of different recipes that I'm going to share with you. I'll be able to give you a copy of the recipe, so you'll be able to know we're going to do it together. We'll make these recipes together. You'll be able to go home and make it again for yourself, because I will make sure that you know how to do it.
Yeah. So for our viewers who don't know what a Red Seal chef is, it's a sign of recognition and accomplishment that the chef has completed their formal training, but they've also taken, I believe, is it about 1,000 hours, Dean?
Correct. Yes.
So you have to have 1,000 hours before you are awarded that Red Seal. So it's not just all theory. There's also the hard knocks and tears of cutting lots of onions, mise en place, and all of that goes with it. And I would like to share that I will be giving wine talks and whiskey talks and cigar talks and caviar all along during the time of this great riverboat cruise that I'm expecting to enjoy with all the guests as well. Now, I know that riverboat cruises are not the same as ocean cruises. It's not one that you can just pick up at the last minute. Dean, why is it this case, and why should people be booking earlier on?
Well, one of the things is that, ships do fill up, but we're lucky that we do have the advantage of this ship because we have the entire ship. So we have the entire ship,
So it's
but we
customized. It's a private.
it's very private, and it's very customized. And yes, so we do need to make deposits and pay for the ship, of course. So we do need to get the money a little bit faster than some of the other lines may be doing. But definitely we do need to, be proactive, secure this ship, and make sure that we have enough people to fill the ship so we can have a good voyage.
Okay, so you encouraging guests to book earlier as opposed to later? Because I know sometimes I'm guilty of it. I'll look at last minute, specials, but because it's customized, there's much more than what you would get off the catalog. So there is a cutoff point, would you say then, Dean?
Most definitely, yes. We do need to get a cutoff point for this to make sure we can secure the ship. So that our cutoff point is the end of July. So we do need to basically have everybody on board by then, in a sense.
Okay, so for our listeners and viewers out there, you've got just a little over 30 days, but 30 days that's going to change not only your experiences of what the Cologne Fair is, but also experiencing a truly majestic riverboat cruise. Now, who is the provider of
It's Avalon Waterways.
Avalon Waterways? All right, and
Yes.
and I know, Thomas, you've got very specific tastes, and there must have been a reason why Avalon was selected out of all. I would imagine that was through the graces and advice of Dean. Would that be correct?
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, I know you've done an enormous amount of traveling. Now, how do you actually book to get onto this riverboat cruise? Do they call you, Thomas, or what happens, or Dean?
No, definitely. You just need
What
to call
happens?
us.
How do they
We'll,
book?
literally give us a call. We'll connect with you. We'll connect you with our advisors to make sure that we can actually supply you with all the pieces of this journey you want. If you just want the cruise itself, we can do that, or we can attach all the other pieces to and from the fair and attach everything, so you won't have to do anything at all, just with one phone call.
You know, they want to get the VVIP pass, so I would imagine, Thomas, there's some sort of formality for that. So you'll have a link, and is there a specific number? Maybe you want to just mention the number they can get a hold of you, Dean? And you have an entire team, that's correct?
That's correct. Yes, we do. We have a team that basically answering the phones and ready to help you at any one time. But yeah, our phone number is 604-591-9800. And we basically can take your calls, and we'll set you up, and we'll get you an advisor to make sure that they can look after all of your needs, and go from there.
Yeah, so for viewers, if you missed that number, you can go to the website for the Expedia cruise ship, Surrey, and also the BC Builders Suppliers Industry Association. There'll be a link there for you. And if there's any questions, I'm sure that Dean or Thomas will be able to answer with regard to the actual show itself, and also with regard to the logistics of getting tickets, how to get there, what to do. Now, I know, you know, for some, we've covered there's entertainment, but now, what else am I paying for? Do I have to pay for my drinks? Do I have to pay for my excursions? You know, what's included?
Yes, I mean, everything's included in this voyage. It's virtually an all-inclusive. All of your excursions are all covered, so you can have multiples in a day. So you can have some that are more exclusive in a sense, where you may have a hike up a mountain, up to a castle or something like that. Or if you just want to go for a leisurely stroll through the city, through a couple of coffee shops and see some different places.
Okay, so it's
yeah,
all
everything.
included. They're all
It's
included.
all included. Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. And so
Now,
there's multiple
I know
levels of excursions.
that's great. So all excursions are included. Now, when it comes to the drinks, I know there's certain times when drinks are included. That's during the meals, and
Correct.
there's a certain happy hour. And then after that, you know, which is quite understandable, then guests would just buy their own drinks. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yes. Yeah. The drinks are included through all of your meals, 100%. And again, during the happy hour. And one of the things, I mean, a lot of people go, oh, there's a lot of spare time that I'm going to be having to purchase my drinks. But to be honest, when you're out on the excursions all day, you're going to be out and about all day. You're going to come back to the ship, and it's virtually going to be happy hour at that point. Enjoy your happy hour, go to dinner, have some more drinks at dinner. And maybe if you wish, you'll be able to purchase an additional wine or a whiskey or something after to watch the entertainment. But to be honest with you, I find for myself is that I like to drink, but I never was buying extra drinks, because by the time I had done all my excursions all day, got back to the ship, had dinner, had my drinks at dinner, I was ready for bed. So off to bed I go. I mean, it's now 9:30 or 10 o'clock, but ultimately I didn't find any spare time that I really was looking to find more drinks.
Right. So this is really action-packed, fun-filled. There's that sense of decorum people will enjoy. And of course, Thomas, you mentioned earlier on, there's going to be an enormous amount of networking on a much more leisurely style.
No doubt about it. The one thing we haven't mentioned is the amount of chocolate that's available in Cologne.
Oh, please. Yeah.
It is famous for its chocolate.
It is. And another thing is, ladies, I'm sure there'll be lots of perfume, but eau de cologne, that's where it originated from. So what I'm hearing, gentlemen, just before we wrap up now, is get onto the show, not only in terms of professional and commercial introductions on the business side, but you're going to have the networking opportunity during, and most importantly, after the fair itself. And this comes in the form of nothing else more highly sought after than a riverboat cruise. Now, I know until I took one last year or 2 years ago, it's not what I expected. It's quite magnificent, quite luxurious, and the people you meet, you're not packed in with 1,000 people or even 400 or 500 people. What's the number that we can put onto this particular vessel, Dean?
160 people maximum. So that's what would be 100. So there's
160
basically
people.
80 cabins. Correct.
So 160 people, lucky people, fortunate people who are going to mix with one another. So once again, to our listeners and viewers, I would suggest book early, because there are limited spaces, and not only are there limited spaces, but this is not a last minute booking scenario. This is one where you want to book in advance, make sure everything's in order. And any last words from you, Thomas, that you'd like to
just
share?
look forward. The numbers will be on our website. All the information will be on our website, and Dean's available for phone calls. I'll be available for phone calls, emails, and that's how we've been communicating with a lot of the people that have inquiries. Is they'll send an email and just ask about it, and we'll reach out and make sure that they get the right information so they can make their decision quickly.
That's fantastic. And Dean, any last suggestions?
Again, the only thing I would say is that, we are here for you. We are a full-fledged travel agency. So we look after planes, trains, and automobiles. So we're not just about cruising. So we know how to get your airfare. We know how to get your hotels. We know how to get you to and from the ships or from the airport. So please just reach out. We're happy to help you and help you with whatever portion or all that you wish us to help you with.
Well, on behalf of Hardlines, who I know are the professionals involved in this particular fair, they themselves, I know, are reaching out. So for any listener or viewer out there, if you have any questions and you know of the Hardline people, and you've got Dean here today and Thomas, do reach out to them. I know, and I've seen the behind the scenes of how much extra activity is going to be involved. And I think it's going to be not just great, it's going to be memorable. So hope to see all of you on the show itself. Thank you very much for being on the show, Thomas and Dean. And
thank you.
Thank you very much, Hardlines, for your support on this particular project. And viewers, you know their number, you know their website. See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Please comment, like, share, or subscribe to our videos.